bearings, crash bars, all sorts of things. But you don't have to be that big. That's a 600cc Sunbeam from 1925, owned by Dennis Isles from Southampton. 1939 AJS is just coming along the lower side of the arena. 250cc. It's a Model 12M. It's given to Keith by his late father-in-law. Number was restored some 25 years ago. 1939 AJS 12M, owned by Keith Mitchell from Southampton. Coming along the lower side of the arena now, 1958 Triumph 650cc Thunderbird. This is owned by Basil Pullinger from Bishop's Waltham in Hampshire. He bought it as a box of bits and put it all back together again. 1958 Triumph 650cc Thunderbird. Slightly smaller bike coming in now, 1969 Raleigh RM9. This is owned by John Mills from Bristol. Bike was bought from a gentleman of Yeovil in Somerset in April 1995 on the condition it was kept in its original condition, which it more or less is. 1969 Raleigh RM9, owned by John Mills from Bristol. And next in, along the lower side of the arena, 1960 BSA 650cc Super Rocket. This from Malcolm Beale from Lymington in Hampshire. He's only had it for some 5 months and pretty splendid condition, as you can see. There it goes around the top side of the arena. 1960 650cc BSA Super Rocket. Here comes Brian Verrill from Cheddar on his 1961 AJS. This machine has had 4 owners from new and is still in original condition. 1961 AJS, owned by Brian Verrill from Cheddar in Somerset. And a 1969 Triumph Daytona Super Sports 500cc motorcycle now coming around in front of the commentary position. This from Ken Miller from Fordingbridge in Hampshire. Originally a US bike, it was imported from the USA West Coast about 7 years ago in a very poor condition. 1969 Triumph Daytona Super Sports 500cc. Head back to 1954, it's an AJS coming along the lower side of the arena. AJS 16MS, owned by John Eyre from Cornwall. He purchased it 5 years ago. 1954, AJS 16MS, owned by John Eyre from Saltash in Cornwall. A Triumph Tiger Cub T20 trials bike. No problem on the rather dusty conditions of our arena today for a trials bike. Dates from 1961, owned by Len Bullpit from Winchester. One of the oldest vehicles with us at our steam show this weekend dates from 1918, the end of the First World War. It's a Bown-Villiers Roadster 350cc motorcycle, 2-stroke engine, 2-speed Sturmey-Archer gearbox, and it has carbide lights, and the oil is hand pumped into the engine bearings. 1918 Bown-Villiers Roadster 350cc, owned by David Green from Colford in Gloucestershire. A 1952 Cycle Motor. It's a Cycle Motor Power Pack, owned by Keith Cook from Bristol. These machines were introduced in the days of austerity after World War II, enabling the motorisation of a bicycle for just 18 guineas, which is approximately £18.90 in today's money. 1952 Cycle Motor Power Pack, owned by Keith Cook from Bristol. A Norton Navigator 350cc coming along the lower side of the arena now, from Dave Green from Colford in Gloucestershire. Here it comes in front of the commentary position. A lot of work's been done to bring it to its splendid condition today. A Norton Navigator 350cc motorcycle. Head back to 1948 for the Douglas T35 Mark III coming along the lower side of the arena. Chris Hucker from Western Supermare is the owner. Here it comes with the pillion passenger. 1948 Douglas T35 Mark III. And next in the 1959 Mobilette Mobimatic. This from Alan Taylor from Lake here on the island. The Mobilette was French made and was first produced in 1949. A year's tax then cost 17 shillings and sixpence. Can you work that out? In current money, that's 87.5p. 1959, Mobilette Mobimatic, owned by Alan Taylor from Lake. A Bown autocycle dating from 1950 rather, going along the top side of the arena with a child sidecar. It's very rare, just purchased by the owner, and it's in very good condition. So by Graham Hoskins from Swindon, a 1950 Bown autocycle. 1952 BSA Bantam, owned by Dawn Russell from Wootton Bridge. Bought as a non-runner and made roadworthy for the owner to learn to ride.